Right, back again with another replay. This one is from AJTBLS, also known as Sit Chair, where right now ranked number one on the GOAT format dueling book ladder. In their last 50 games, I think this person won 46 of their 50 matches, 46 and 4, using the stack, I believe. So let's see how they managed to achieve this result. We're playing Chaos Warriors, efficient for ladder grinding, as the games do tend to go a bit faster than if you're playing Controller Turbo. Opponent had a incredible start of Pot of Grid, Graceful, Double Knight Assailant. So yeah, I don't think we're going to win this one. So here, I think we should just reinforcement for Blade Knight, but I'm not sure. I have played a little bit of. Oh, and we're just gonna make sure that there is no Magician of Faith, which makes sense. But it is a bit timid. But yeah, makes sense. So here you can see that AGT, he's not impatient. Goes with Graceful. This is something you can do when playing Warriors, using Graceful aggressively, because you don't have any discard fodder. And a common theme of playing this Warrior deck is that you want Exile Force in the graveyard, because that's very useful when combined with Premature Burial and Call of the Haunted. And I think that's why AGT went for the Exile Force with the reinforcements of the army, so that they could discard it for the Graceful. So I would expect them to discard Exile Force and maybe Book, maybe BLS. Yeah, let's see. Decides to discard the Koichi. So I would have used the Premature on the Exile Force and set the Koichi. But this also makes sense because now we can normal summon the Exile Force and then you have the Premature for a later turn. And we set 4 here, I think, to play around Delinquent Duo. AGT agrees. So let's just take a quick look at their hand. Dekoichi, Nobleman, Knight Assailant, Card Destruction, Dekoichi, Knight Assailant. So I would assume they want to play the Card Destruction here. Or maybe they just set the Dekoichi and pass. I played the Card Destruction, we used the Judgment. Yep, I think that was required. That was necessary. Oh, that's a really good draw. So now they just summon that and attack. Didn't shuffle the hand. That's a pet peeve of mine. So unfortunate. I think this is not obvious because we know that's a Koichi pretty much. So we could just let it flip, or we could premature for exiled. I think I lean towards premature, but I'm not sure. Yep. So we have Nobleman, Koichi, Double Knight Assailant. And we drew the Thunder Dragon. Okay. Yeah, we tried to run over the Koichi. Once again, didn't shuffle. And they just pass. I'm a bit surprised that they didn't set one of the Knight Assailants there. Oh, maybe they never took their turn. Maybe that's what happened. So their hand is. So we would think the set monster is a Knight Assailant, right? So we're just going to try and run it over. Trade with the Sasuke. Now, unfortunately, it is the Faith. So they are double Thunder Dragon, Nobleman, double Knight Assailant, and a Graceful. That's quite absurd. So we set the Judgment and we Judgment the Graceful, and we pass. Whoa. We let them have the Graceful? I don't understand that. Yeah, we ring the Breaker. Simple enough. Still don't have any light, so we just attack. Yeah, now we can summon a Chaos Monster. Time to put pressure. Donsalog is pretty good here. I think we just summon that. AJT doesn't agree. So is there a Torrential coming down here? And I think it's important to note that I think we're summoning BLS rather than Chaos Sorcerer because BLS is a light. So when BLS and Donsalog hits the grave, then Chaos Sorcerer is alive. Okay, here we go. Wow. Is this actually gonna go through? Oh, that's absurd. So their hand was like Thunder Dragon double. Well, one Knight Ascent was discarded, right? It's just incredible to me how they managed to lose this. Nicely done from AGT. Yeah, I think we just summoned the Swordsman. Okay, I think we set the book. Yep, unfortunate. But that's also okay. So do we rotate for Don Salug here? I would be tempted. AGT decides to go for the Breaker. But this Breaker isn't that great, right? Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Gets ringed. Yep. Now we're starting to get low on life points. Nothing else to do this turn though. Down to 28. So I don't think we lead with the duo. I'm not even sure if we play it. I guess we do, but definitely don't lead with it. Once again, I will be tempted to go reinforcements for Don Salug, but we would like to have a light in our graveyard. So I would go with the Blade Knight. And once again, we didn't shuffle our hand. Yeah, we played the duo. I agree with this. Let's say what we discard. Discard Nobleman. So we kept the Nobleman per side. And this is, I assume, because we saw flip monsters from AGT game 1. And I think AGT sides the flips out post game 1 in order for their opponent to have Dead Nobleman. So do we set the second book? I don't think that makes much sense. Besides that both. I mean that plays around Delinquent Duo, but it simply concedes to Heavy Storm. And we know we don't have a Delinquent Duo, because we would have used it. But we don't know that we don't have a Heavy Storm. So I don't quite understand this. Then again, once you're setting the second book, then I guess you could make a case for setting the reinforcements as well. Oh right, the Blade Knight also gets bigger, which is good in case of... I'm not really sure, like Kaiku. I don't know if their opponent is going to have anything that runs over a Blade Knight, especially through book. Yeah, I'm not sure about setting those. AJT might have noticed something that I'm missing. So, how do we make progress here? We could go for Sasuke with the reinforcements. Could go for Exile Force. Could simply play the Snatch Steal. I would probably go with Snatch Steal, because Snatch Steal is more situational. It requires there to be a face-up monster on the opposing side, which is not always going to be the case, whilst reinforcements of the army is always going to be good. Okay, goes for the Exile Force. That's fair. So now we set the Snatch, because now we have a good read that there's no Heavy Storm. Let's swing for 2000. Raigeki breaks. So I think we just pass. No need to expose the Chaos Sorcerer. AGT disagrees. I guess this is a concession towards being at a low life total. But I mean, I guess because if a Chaos Monster comes down, then you have to book it, and then it might be tricky to get rid of that Chaos Monster. Whilst in this scenario, if they drop a Chaos Monster, we have the Snatch available, which we wouldn't have if we were to book it because it's face down. So I changed my mind. I agree with this. This is nice. Yeah, and here I think we just attack. Yep. And this is a scenario where I think it's quite apparent that the Snatch Steal is worse than a reinforcement of the army. But I mean, that's okay, right? Yeah, these draws have not been very good. I think we set the Typhoon here. Yep, that's a book. Yeah, this is looking rough. So I think we snatch the Magician and just pray that there's no book. Because we have no better options. You could make a case for using the MST first, but if we hit the book, we just chain it targeting the Magician and it's the same outcome except we don't have the MST, so nope. Okay, we got lucky. So I think we just... I mean, we could book it and flip it, but then we have a face-up Magician of Faith, so that doesn't sound very good to me. I don't think I mind giving them 1000 life points, so I think I would just pass. Probably I would set the Heavy Storm to play on Duo. That's a bit interesting to me. So there they were playing around Ring, but I'm not quite sure what we're trying to achieve here. Do we really want to flip that? Oh, yeah, okay. There we go. So now we're on the play, and we have a godlike hand. Not that much back row. So here I think AJT is going to go reinforcement for XL Force, and they might use a second reinforcement to get a lighter dark attribute. I'm not sure about that one. I don't think I would, but that could definitely be correct. We decide to hold on to the Graceful. That makes sense, sure. But I think we would like a stronger back row. But I guess we don't need any stronger back row. But aren't we playing like dust shoots in our deck? I'm not convinced. So yeah, here we wrote for Donsalug perhaps. Question is if we want to weave in the Graceful now. I think we do, yeah. So I think we wrote for Donsalug and XL Force, and we flip the Graceful. AGT is patient with the Graceful, and yeah, we don't soul on that, that's fine. Very interesting that we ringed the Blade Knight. That just seems like a mistake to me. I mean, maybe we only flips, but still. So we decided against judgmenting the Graceful. I agree. Double Knight Assailant again. Wow, this guy's a god. I'll give him that. So we think that set monster is going to be a Faith. And their set spell trap could definitely be Mirror Force. So here I would Rota for Exile Force and use it. We could go Rota for Mr. Swordsman, and if I Mirror Force with the Judgment, that might be an improvement. There's also the Graceful, which we could use. I think we'll Rota for Exile Force, flip the Graceful. Decides to flip the Graceful first, claiming that they would rather save the Rota or know exactly what we're looking for, which I guess makes sense. There's no Dark Engrave, that was also an option to Rota for a Dark Warrior, but maybe we don't have any apart from Donsalug. Could actually be the case. So yeah, I think we just get rid of the Heavy Storm and probably the Mirror Force. And then we summon Sasuke and attack with both. Get rid of Sasuke, so we're going to use the reinforcements then. Decides to play the Typhoon. I don't know. What if that's a ring? Could be Raigeki Rake. Or well, it can't be ring, and it's somewhat unlikely to be Raigeki Rake. Not sure about this one. I would just play into the face down. Was it torrential? Nice. So now we go for Mystic Swordsman, I assume. Yep. And this is looking really good for us now. Especially seeing as we have a light in our graveyard and we have the Donsalug in play, being the dark. So this is a bit awkward if that would use priority and exile, banish Donsalug. So I think we flip the judgment. I mean, that's also a viable option. Holds on to the judgment at every cost, I guess. Yeah, this is very cool to see. Um, that's not the line I would have gone for, but it might be better. Definitely. I'm not going to critique that line. This does look quite clean. They set the monster into the swordsman. Looks a bit weird. So, summon Chaos Sorcerer, activate Chaos Sorcerer, attack with the Warlord and Swordsman, put one out to 300 life points. Yeah, this just looks over. We even have the Solid Judgment and the Mirror Force. Yeah, nice. Good game, AJT. This was really cool. Thanks for this replay. Nicely fought. I think you played well. I differed in a couple of spots, but most of the time I'll just refer to your expertise. Not going to question your 46 and 4 record, but I would love to hear your thoughts on the few scenarios where we did differ. And yeah, this has been Chaos Warriors against Chaos Turbo, where the Warrior player came back from a pair of excellent Nuts draws from the Chaos Turbo deck, showing off how powerful this Warrior deck can be if played well, and that there actually is a lot more play to the deck than people give it credit for. I'll catch you next time.